Very good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Monday. I know you're expecting a big guy. Willis Raburu is away. He's currently doing exams. So Willis, we wish you the best, but I am in good company still today. We have Fred Arocho, aka Twiga, and then we have Collins Shutera and the fastest man in Kenya has joined us in studio. We are super excited to have Ferdinand Omanyala here in studio with us. What an honor to have you with us.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yep, so we have an exciting show today. We have the Olympics team that has been named in Kenya. Then we have the Safari Rally. Then we have the Euros. It's just a heavy packed show. Formula One as well. But want to start off with the man of the hour, Ferdinand Omanyala. I want you to take us through how that Thursday was. We have clips of you and I just want you to just take us through what was going through your mind as you were. Let's just cue that on screen, please, so we can just have that as you just take us through it. This was the first one. First full start, just go ahead.
Okay, so coming to this race, I did not expect much, but I knew I'm going to run fast. So when I hate false starts personally because they always affect the race. Because now when they false start, the next time you want to get off that block, you fear like you're the next person will be taken off that line. So it was boring actually. 4 false starts and you're still there. It was really boring, but I thank God that my competitor and my friend was not removed.
We can see you actually praying just to
yeah, I always do that before races because actually it's God who has made me to be where I am now, and I just ask him to bless that lane so that nothing bad can happen. There's the injuries, there's false start, so you have to pray before you start that race. Yeah, and then we took off there. It was a very tight race. I got a very bad start. But then I had to push myself. to the finish line. And then I looked at the watch. I did not know who had won that race. But at the time was just amazing. 10.03, qualifying on home ground. That was what made me start celebrating early. And then I looked at the watch and saw I'm on top. And it was just a very good moment for me, I must say.
And I feel like a lot of people watching at home don't know the journey that has taken you for you to get here. Maybe you can explain, give us a bit of background, particularly what happened in 2017, 2018 with Athletics Kenya. Just give people at home background of how momentous this moment was.
So it's been a long journey actually since I started sprinting, because I came into this sport. I did not know that it has so many things to be done and it has so many ups and downs. So in 2017, I don't like talking about it, but it's now in the past. I went to a doctor, got a painkiller, and then later on it was found to be positive. It's something that I will tell generations and generations of athletes to come, because it's something that I don't want anybody to be in, because it's a situation that you may not even want your worst enemy to get into. So it was a mistake I made. But it was something that happened in my life. But I believe it was like a stepping stone. Because if I told that could not have happened, maybe this could not have happened. Because it gave me a lot of motivation to work even harder and to come out and remove that notion that Kenyans have sprinters cannot sprint. I mean, Kenya does not have sprinters. Yeah. So I'm happy that that's changing now, because I've seen most of the screens now are showing, if they show 10,000 meters in an event, they come back and show 100 meters, which is something very great and I appreciate.
Yeah. And everything that happened with Athletics Kenya, you know, you've set a precedent. You've saved a lot of athletes before you, because the rule was with Athletics Kenya, once you're found, you have a doping violation, you can never represent the country. But you fought for that. How was that process? And now you're in the Olympics, and athletes to come, once everything has, if you've served your time, you served your time, and you can move on. So just talk about that, Jania.
Okay, so I'm someone who believes in second chances. Most of us, when our kids were making mistakes. So you cannot come and punish someone twice because he has made the mistake once. And then it was a rule that came after I had served my ban. So I don't see it as something very good. It was somehow discriminative, but we thank God that it's over now. It's not in the past. I've been given another chance to go out here and compete and show the world that Kenya has sprinters. Yeah, so we look forward to Tokyo.
Yeah, Sula, you can also take us through Mark Ortino, who is the other sprinter who qualified. Two instead of one who are going to represent Kenya.
Actually, even before we go to Mark Ortino, just a summary of his highlights. If we are wrong, you're going to correct us. His fact file reads that he's born on 3rd August 1996. So he's 24 actually, very young, around 10 more years to shine for the country, if we are not wrong. And again, he clocked 10.01, that's seconds, at Rabat Sports Complex in Nigeria. That was in 30th March this year. I think that's his fastest time rather he's run this season. Yeah. Again, clocking 10.11 seconds. 23rd March again this year at Nyayo. This was the second leg of Athletics Kenya series. And of course, clocking 10.02 just before that, 10.02 at Kasarani during the national trials. And now Mark Ortino again with the Manyala. Very close competition, but again, sibling rivalry. And I hope that's what they're carrying into Tokyo to motivate each other, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah. How did that influence you, that sort of competition? Because it seems like you guys push each other, and that's one of the reasons why Kenya now has 2 athletes. Yeah,
we've been pushing each other since 2016, because since then we've been the 100 meters sprint giants in Kenya. And when I crossed that line and I noticed that he had qualified, I was so happy. I was very, very happy, because the last 2 weeks he's been having injuries and stuff. So coming into the championship in that trials and him qualifying was something that I was very, very proud, not just for me, but for him too.
And what are your ambitions now that you're in the Olympics? What do you hope to achieve once you get to Tokyo? Yeah,
first, the world now is at the same level. Nobody is faster than the other now, because everybody is running 10.0s, 9.9s. Actually, the USA trials just ended this morning, and I saw I could have made that finals. So if you're making the finals in the USA, that means that's big. So going to the Tokyo Olympics, I'm not going to look at the finals before I run the heats. So I'm going to handle each race as it comes, the heats, the semis, and the finals. And then hopefully, you know, when you get the finals, anything can happen. Someone may see you and say, this guy's too big, and then he cracks. And then
just one, please. I saw him do his race in Nigeria when he did 10.01. And in fact, the crowd in Nigeria were supporting him. They didn't even know he was a Kenyan until he picked the Kenyan flag. So I'm expecting something from it.
Yeah, of course. When I get to races, I don't look at who is who I'm
the Nigerian. Yeah, I
thought he was a Nigerian.
Probably it's because of the name.
Yeah, and the size. So just a second before the finals, the semi-finals, they thought he was a Nigerian. In the finals, when he won and picked our flag, is when everybody
went square.
were really surprised to see him.
Yeah.
Maybe Omanyula or Ferdinand, I'm more interested in this. You're a Bachelor of Science student at UN.
Yeah.
Can you tell us balancing books and athletics, and more so when you set that record at Nyayo? I saw your dean was very happy at UN and even invited you for a tete-a-tete. Can you explain more to us?
Yeah, actually, right now my VC is waiting for me at his office. So
he'll know why you're late.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not an easy thing to balance chemistry and athletics. I had to take a break a little bit from studying so that I can concentrate on the athletics. So now this is not something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's something that I'm going to do maybe for 10 or less years. So let me concentrate on running, and then I'll go back and finish. But I'm a bright student. I'll just
bright student. Maybe finally from me, we've not done well on the track or short races, as Mukami and Fred have alluded to. But probably going into Rio, the ticket is now in the bag. What should Kenyans expect from Omanyala?
First, I'd like to ask Kenyans to pray for me, because there's nothing I can do without God. And then they should they should buy big screens and just sit back and watch and enjoy the moments that I'm going to display in Tokyo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was not, initially he was not an athlete.
Yeah.
This guy is not telling us. This guy was playing rugby. And he discovered his talent somehow late. But believe you me, if there's any medal that I'm waiting for, is from this
Sprint.
Yeah. And just that message, like, keep fighting, because there were so many chances you could have given up, but you kept fighting, and now you're in Tokyo. So Ferdinand, I just want to wish you the best. Want to release you. VC, he's coming. He's coming. He's on his way.
Before he leaves, I think there are so many things that Ferdinand Omanyala is looking up from the likes of Kina Julius Yego, because these were sports that we were not popular in. You see, it's like we had given up as princes for America and Jamaica. At least in Africa, Nigeria came close. I think that is why he was celebrated. In Africa, sprints, Nigeria used to dominate. And I think there are so many things we can pick from Julius Yego. He did on his own. He trained from YouTube. Another thing that you can pick is from our top striker, Olunga. He's a student, very bright like you. But again, what he does to perfection. Look at what he has done from Sweden, Spain, Japan, and now in Qatar. He's excelling. So I think going into the Olympics, we are very hopeful that at least 100 meters, we are looking up for something, not from Akina Usain Bolt, as you said. If you are in America, you could have equally qualified. So we are praying for you, and we believe the gold is coming home.
Thank you.
And you started so late as well. You started sprinting so late, because a lot of these runners get a head start. They start like early.
15, 16,
And
but that doesn't matter. What matters is what you carry in your heart and your head. Because, like he has said, Julius Yego won a medal. He won one championship. And then there was also Nicholas Bett, the late Nicholas Bett. He won the 400-meter hurdles. So it's all in the mind. Like, if you believe in something, go ahead and do it. Just put 100% effort into it, and then it will open up.
Yeah, the whole crew is so excited to have you here. Even our producer, Winnie, has asked me to ask you a question. In terms of the altitude, will that give you a leg up when you're going to Tokyo? Yeah,
of course, because my race in Nigeria, Nigeria is at 31 degrees Celsius. You can't compare the conditions that I ran in Nigeria with the Kenyan conditions. Kenyan conditions were a bit harsh because it was cloudy and there was a lot of wind, and it was cold. But now moving to Tokyo, a very good place, all the fans, all the cameras, and then good starting blocks. I mean, everything is just working on my favor. I'm one guy who loves, like just the previous trials, just there was only NTV showing, and I was so happy to be seen on TV and just excite the fans out here. Now compare it to Tokyo. It's going to be a good show.
Thank you so much, Ferdinand. You're a showman. Like, that's definitely something we noticed. So we wish you all the best. I want to release you. At that time, I think we should play the package of the trials that took place on Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Just a quick one. You guys can just take a look at the results of the 41 athletes who have made it to Tokyo. Came down on the three-day athletics Olympic trials. The men's 1500 meters provided the biggest surprise of the entire trials. The reigning world champion Timothy Cheruiyot failing to qualify after finishing a disappointing fourth. Charles Simotwo was the unlikely hero as he destroyed a strong field to win in 3 minutes 32.75 seconds. Iten-based Kamar Etiang was second as Kipsang closed the podium. Top gun Helen Obiri will lead Kenya's charge in the middle distance races. Leading from gun to tape, Obiri clinched victory in the women's 10,000 meters in 30 minutes 53.60 seconds, just 2 days after securing her first ticket in the women's 5,000 meters after finishing second.
Of course, yes, I want to double because tumeona 5,000 iko first day and 10,000 iko mwisho. So I'm looking forward to double. So maybe probably if I were to one goal, I would be happy.
In the 3,000 meters steeplechase, defending champion Conseslus Kipruto dropped off after an underwhelming race. Instead, Leonard Bett won ahead of Abraham Kibiwot, who slowed at the finish to allow his teammate to move on ahead and take the victory, with both men assured qualification for next month's games. Benjamin Kiget, was third.
CV yangu haikuwa sawa, but nashukuru Mungu make to Olympic. Tunaenda sasa kutrain. I'm sure tuta manage.
US-based Michael Saruni, world bronze medalist Ferguson Rotich and Emmanuel Korir secured tickets in the men's 800 meters. Kenya enjoyed its most successful outing at an Olympics in Rio in 2016 after collecting 13 medals, 6 gold, 6 silver and 1 bronze. And the current roster of 41 athletes, 23 men and 18 women, will look to beat that mark in Tokyo. Mukami Wambora for Citizen TV. Well, there you have it. 41 athletes have been chosen to represent the country in Tokyo 2020. We have a huge target to beat, and I'm hoping the team will be able to do so. Swila, you can take us through the list of the athletes who have qualified.
Absolutely. This is just a summary of the package you've run. And as you can see from the graphics, in the men's 800 meters, Michael Saruni, this US-based, clocking 1:45.81. Ferguson Rotich, this is a world bronze medalist. And of course, Emmanuel Korir will be aiming to do so well in that race. Over to 3,000 meters steeplechase for men. Leonard Bett, Abraham Kibiwot, Keegan, and of course, as you said, Kipruto dropped out of this race. Remember, this is where we had our king, now retired, doing so well into this. We are hoping to see if Leonard Bett will be able to carry on the mantle. There were big expectations on Conseslus after shining at the World Championship in Doha, but probably the heat was too much for him. Women's equivalent, Kieng, Beatrice Chepkoech, of course, has shown in major races, and of course, Purity Kirui. Then in the men's 5,000 meters, Nicholas Kimeli again, big expectations on him, David Simiu and Samuel Chebole. In the 10,000 meters, Kamoror, making a huge comeback, and of course, Rogers Kwemoi, this Commonwealth bronze medalist. So can he go one step better? We're going to see in Rio. And the interesting fact with this race is that Kenya, we've not won a gold in 53 years and counting.
And we have Cheptegei to look out for. Absolutely.
Cheptegei, actually, that's the biggest star right now as far as this race is concerned. And actually, this is the man we're going to face. And can Kenya stop him? Then, of course, there's Mukhtar Idris. These are some of the big names Kenyan athletes will be facing. Over to men's 1,500 meters, Charles Simoto, 3.32, Kamar Etiang and Abel Kipsang. He closed the podium. Then we have Timothy Cheriot. He's a world 1,500 meter champion. But on this particular day, you can see he came fourth, thereby not being able to nail that slot that we need heading to Tokyo. Helen Obiri, she's the queen of 5,000 meters, basically middle distance running. And there have been speculation that she could actually transition to the road. But you're not going to see this in Tokyo. Two-time world 5,000 meters champion. Right now in Tokyo is going to double in 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters. He clocked this actually at Kasarani. That's in the 10,000 meters, then closed it over by coming second in the 5,000 meters. And finally, actually that's all we have. But as you've said, we are going to have a contingent of around 67 because our marathoners had already been picked. Remember, we have 6 marathoners. We have Eliud Kipchoge going to lead that quest. In total, there are 6. If we can just have that and see how we're going to perform. But even as we look forward to that Mukami and Shitera, the squad that was picked actually at Kasarani, Team Kenya, and Mukami has said we did well in Rio, around 13 medals. Can we actually add on to that haul?
Arocho,
actually, here it is. Just a second, Arocho. We have Kipchoge, Amos Kipruto, and Lawrence Cherono. These are the 3 men going to represent us in the marathon. That's the main race. Then we have Bridget Kosgei, Ruth Chepngetich, and Peris Jepchirchir. 13 medals in Rio. Right now, we are going to Tokyo. Can we add on to that tally?
Well, I think I picked three points from the team. First, Eliud. We had 6 goals in Rio. It's only 2 who are going to defend. That is Eliud Kipchoge in the marathon and Faith Kepngetich who is also going to perform her trade in the 1500 meters. So basically 4 who won the gold are not going to be there. Another thing that I also observed is the high jump. That is Matthew Sum is going to represent us. And for the very first time, as we said, we are going to be represented in the short races. Another thing also noticed is, you know, 800 meters is nostalgic to Kenyans. David Rudisha has been doing us proud. 2012 in London,
Actually, yeah.
And he's
Winning the
infectious.
title.
Yes.
The world loves him.
So
Yeah.
we are having these 2 young men, the US-based
Saruni.
duo of Saruni and Korir. So our hopes in the 800 meters has moved from the world champion to 2 young lads. For me, I'm seeing a lot of surprises in 800 meters. And last but not least, I'm wishing them all the best, because 6 gold last time, I'm believing we can do better this time round.
You know, for me, my biggest surprise was Timothy Cheruiyot. I'm trying to figure out what happened, because he's had such a consistent last maybe 2 years, and then to fall at the last hurdle. Shitara, what could be going through his mind, if you can just speculate?
Speculation, of course, it's disappointments, because as it happened to the 3000 consensus, truly everyone is up and hopeful that we will retain the same team that was in Rio, if it's not age factor. But to me, I still believe in the team that has been selected. And as you've said, 13 medals in Rio. I think we are going for at least 15, because we have added on at least 1 or 2 disciplines, yeah, which were not there. Actually, we have rugby, we have volleyball, and in sports, as we say in football, anything can happen. I usually tell my brother here, anything can happen. So let us have hope in volleyball, rugby. Omanyala has just promised us gold. So I believe we are going for 16, if not 15. And I'm very hopeful, because 800 meters, as Arocho said, is very infectious to Kenyans. Dating back to Bungei, you remember, Rudisha picked it up. And we are hoping that the young athletes are fast enough to even break the record, leave alone winning a gold. So we are hopeful that the team is up to the task. And as we have done as Kenyans, we believe we are going to do it.
And Swela, we know that on the field, it was Kenya's most successful Olympics, but off the field, there was scandal from the get-go. A coach was released and had to come home early. Relatives of officials were taken on a joyride. What are the expectations?
Actually, we still have a court case on that.
It was a big shame, and actually you alluded this in last night's bulletin. We had athletes complaining of not having even the kits themselves. They were not having accommodation. It was all chaotic. When they returned here, we saw arrests being made from the airport by the DCI and all that. Now, yesterday, to throw the spanner into the works, CS Amina announced that they have signed an MOU with Olympics Kenya heading into this game. Basically, what Amina or the government is telling these people, that's actually diplomacy terms. We've given you the incentives, we've given you the cash, everybody's going to be put to account. If you are going to have any scandal, you will be held responsible individually and as a team. And you've asked a very interesting question. What should we expect? The team is strong, and as you see, Omanyala is very confident, and so are the rest of the squad. Now, the performance is in Tokyo. We won't have a lot of fans thanks to COVID-19, but Team Kenya should go one step better. So if we clocked or we bagged 13 medals, I think we can go one step better, because even 13 medals, we were the best in Africa in 2016 and 15th worldwide. Why can't we stretch this medal tally to say 18? If we do so, definitely we're going in the top 5 in the world order. So a lot of expectation. I'm confident that we won't have again controversy regarding kitting and all that, and that the team will go into Tokyo confident of flying Kenya's flag very, very high. I would have loved to to see Ezekiel Kumboi into this. Unfortunately, he's retired. The pomp and the color and the dance and the swag that he brings into this competition will be lacking. But I do hope the men we have here, more so into the marathon. Eliud Kipchoge again, the world attention is still on him. Remember, after he failed to shine in London last year, he made a comeback in the Netherlands the other time around, but this is the ultimate test for King Kipchoge, and of course Ruth Chepngetich and Bridget Kosgei rather. So let's go do it as Team Kenya, and I'm confident we're gonna shine.
Yeah, I think Omanyala has brought that swag back. You could even see his celebration the whole time. So at least he'll carry that torch.